And it's that time again. Happy Sunday. I'm your host, Tony Twist. This is ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast. And as you can see, we are joined by the man from the Midwest, from Chi-Town, the pro from Pro Wrestling Podcast. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing great. How's everybody else doing? How you doing, Tony?
I'm trying to get my voice back from the Rumble last night. Watched the Royal Rumble. I know you were not particularly happy with the show. I thought it was a solid show. But anyways, we'll get back into that here in a little bit. We got a great show lined up. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I'm excited. Hell yeah.
I could tell, man. It's beaming off. It's beaming off.
Sorry. I am excited. I'm
just giving you a hard time, man. I'm just giving you a hard time. Hey, but we are joined by not one, but two guests today. Our first guest is an independent wrestler out of Orlando, Florida. She's having a killer start to her year, but we're going to let her tell you all about it. Dream Girl Ellie is in the studio, and she is joining us from her home in Orlando, Florida. Good afternoon. How are you doing, Ellie?
Yo. I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're great. Like I said, I'm trying to come off of the Royal Rumble last night. It was a long show, but I was really happy with it.
It was like four hours long or something.
Yeah, it started at 6 my time, and it ended at 10. Yeah. It was exactly like 4 hours. What'd you think?
Because it started at 8 here and ended at like midnight.
What were your thoughts on the show?
Okay, so
this is a judgment-free zone. We are no way associated with WWE, so you know.
I really enjoyed. Okay, so there's like overall it was a good show, but if you break it down, it has its moments. Obviously, like the Women's Rumble was awesome. They brought a bunch of people back. It was really cool to see. Seth and Roman was good. I wish it would have gone a little bit longer. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it ended kind of like quickly.
Their match?
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was a decent amount of time.
No, I don't know why, but I just thought they were gonna go. Maybe because I thought it was gonna be like they it gave me like main event feels. You know what I mean? And I feel like it didn't go short, but I feel like they could have just gone a little bit longer. I also like both of them, so I think seeing them wrestle and stuff. The Shield thing made me cry a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because that one hurt me like 8 years ago or whatever when they broke up. Like me and my brother, like we cried watching it. So hearing that again, like kind of brought me back like childhood. It was a little weird. Women's Rumble was really good. I feel bad for Becky and Doudrop because they had to follow the Women's Rumble, and I was like, you can't, like, putting women behind women is like,
yeah,
they're all womened out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should have put the Miz and Edge's match, I think, after that.
Yeah, or like something. You know what I mean? Brock and Bobby was good. I'm trying to think. What was it? Brock and Bobby, and then the tag match. Oh my gosh, the gear in that match, I'm not gonna lie, was just like Maurice's gear was freaking incredible. That was a good match. I like that they were doing like each other's. Who is this? Oh, hi. I like that they were doing each other's moves, like literal like couple goals. And then the Rumble. So I feel personally like the men's Rumble was disappointing.
Really?
It was.
They didn't even bring up anybody. They didn't have any special surprises. Like they didn't even bring up anyone from NXT. You know what I mean? They didn't have anyone. Hornswoggle didn't come back. You know what I mean? Like there was no, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's here type of thing. It was just like the Raw and SmackDown roster, and it wasn't even all of them. And I get there's only 30 spots for them and stuff, but
yeah, I think. To be honest, I think I was pretty disappointed in that as well. But I was really expecting maybe some other big surprises on the women's side. I know they promoted Mickie James and they really kind of promoted the hell out of that. But I was really hoping for like another another big surprise instead of the legends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all the big surprises they had already like advertised, like Summer Rae. You know what I mean? We kind of already knew like Ronda was coming back because she had already kind of like talked about it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's cool, but there was no like, oh my god,
Right.
how'd they get them here?
I think, and also I think having that tag match as like the co-main event before the men's rumble, that was a bad move.
It was just a weird spot, and I know it's because like there's only technically, if you think about it, there was 3 matches besides the rumbles. You know what I mean? So it's like, right? Can I 4 matches? My bad. I can't count.
4 matches. Yep. You had Roman and Seth.
Yep. The girls.
You had Becky,
Tag, and then Brock and Bobby.
Yep. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good show, but yeah, I do get what you're saying about some of the spots.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have just switched a couple things around, and like maybe just add a couple cool people in there, because that's what the Rumble is all about. Like,
who did we really
crazy
get?
people,
Shane McMahon
and Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
But Bad Bunny wasn't even a surprise because they had posted, he's here in St. Louis, so everyone knew he was gonna come out. Which, don't get me wrong, he's when he wrestled and stuff, like he did surprisingly like a really good job, like for being a celebrity wrestler or whatever they're doing. But like that wasn't even a surprise because they announced it.
Exactly.
I was a little disappointed on like as far as any like oh shit type of moment. I didn't really have that. So, but anyways, I do want to know Ronda Rousey winning the Royal Rumble, the Women's Rumble. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know how I feel about that.
So it's not heat with Ronda because obviously she has no idea about it. But when she debuted at the Rumble like however many years ago, using Bad Reputation by Joan Jett, and the night before I had actually debuted like in wrestling, like first match ever, and I used that song. And then she came out to it and I was like, yo, what the hell? Like, that's my song. So I have one-sided heat with her now for that. But
you heard it here first, folks.
Right? She's gonna find out. I'm like, yo, who is this chick? No, but I don't know how I feel about it because she's not a wrestler.
Right.
If you know what I mean. Like,
she looked bad. I thought she looked bad in the ring last time. Like, damn, she could have worked on some shit while she was gone, but she just looked bad.
I mean, she had a baby a couple months ago, but like, so I know like she couldn't. She wasn't in the ring.
Like a year ago, wasn't it?
No, it was like 3 or 4 months ago. I thought, yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
I did not know that. I thought it had been at least a year.
No, I think she announced that she was pregnant like a year ago, but I didn't think she had the baby till like August or September. I could be completely wrong. My timeline for everything's always off.
All right, can you fact check that?
Yeah, right. I'll say, hey, a couple days ago when it's really like 6 months ago. So, but I know obviously like she could be in the ring the whole time, but like for the last couple months, I'm hoping she was. Like I don't know what she was doing with her life, but I also know that she just had a kid, so she obviously couldn't. You know what I'm trying to say? Like she couldn't spend all the time in the ring. But
okay, we got word. It looks like here it is. Drum roll. September 22nd, 2021. So she literally just had a baby, like 4 months ago. So you're right.
So this was like her first time back. So that's why, like, I know it's the Rumble and like you're supposed to get it so you could headline WrestleMania and stuff. So hopefully now that like she's back, she can get like more ring time and stuff. And like she's not. I don't know, because I don't know how I feel. Again, because she's not a wrestler. Like, trained, but she didn't do the indies and stuff. Like, she did the UFC stuff. So it's a weird crossover.
So do you consider people who don't do indies like not a wrestler?
I don't mean like that, but like, because there's people in WWE and AEW and Impact and stuff that never did the indies. They kind of got signed and learned from there and stuff. Like, that's a bunch of the NXT people like never did the indies. But I feel like she never trained to be a wrestler. Like, she wasn't doing all the. She was doing blow up drills and bump drills, but not for wrestling, like for UFC. So I feel like it's a different aspect of it.
Well, let's switch gears. Let's talk about you. So let's talk about your start. You talked about 8 years ago crying with your brother when the Shield broke up. So sounds like you've been a wrestling fan for a very long time. What inspired you to start in the wrestling business?
I gotta think when I actually started watching wrestling. I think it was, how old am I?
I don't know.
I don't either. I have to
Kenny. Kenny's our fact checker in the comment. Kenny,
how old? Right? How old am I? No. I'm 22. I'll be 23 in like a month or something. So it's March 19th is my birthday. So but guys, like 7 weeks if you think about it. I got distracted. So I'm 22. So I started watching wrestling when I was like 10 or 11. So like 10, 11 years ago, basically. Easy math. So I would go over to like my dad's house with my brothers and stuff, and we would always watch it. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was stupid. Because I was like, yo, these people are just like in their underwear, like wrestling each other. Like this shit's weird. You know what I mean? But then, like, I would go back, like, each week and stuff, and I started watching it, and, like, Randy Orton was, like, my favorite wrestler ever. Hey, look at that. So is mine. But then I was, like, 15, I think, and I was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler. And my dad was like, sure you are. Not really. But, he was like, your first day, you're gonna quit. Like, the first day you do this, you're gonna quit. Like, just kind of like you my body can't handle like type thing. And he's like, you don't have the I can't think of the word, but I don't have like the mindset or something like to do it. So I started training, and I turned 18, like signed up on my 18th birthday, started training. And
where was the place that you started training?
So I started training somewhere in South Florida. And then I had to get retrained because it was not a best place in the world to ever get trained at. So I actually got retrained by Blanco, like my tag partner. And then we went to like Matt Seidel's and Alpha's. And then we go with like Ricky Morin and Al Snow and stuff. So, but my first day of training, I was like, I'm freaking quitting. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it was like an hour drive home, and I'm hating my life the whole way home. Get to my dad's because I lived with him at the time, and he goes, "Oh, how was it?" And I was like, "It was great, Dad." Yeah, and he's like, "Are you gonna quit?" And I was like, "Nope." I 110% wanted to quit, but I wasn't gonna let him be right.
That's what's up.
So I basically just did it out of spite. I became a wrestler out of spite for my dad being right. Like, I was like, he's not gonna do it. Not letting it happen. But now he's like supportive of it. Like if I'm on NXT, he'll record it. If I'm on AEW, he'll watch it. Like he's 110% for it. He like shares all my stuff on Facebook and stuff, and he loves it. Obviously he's like, please be careful. Like I got hurt last year, and I didn't really tell anyone that I did it, but I was out for a couple weeks and stuff, and I like randomly FaceTimed him, and he ended up like seeing what happened, and he's like, Ellie, what did you do? And I was like, nothing. like, I'm fine. And then I had to tell him like what happened, and he's just like, bro, can you be safe for like one day of your life? But he's always trying. I think he realized like that I have a chance of being successful, and I think he wanted to make sure I wanted to do it before he like put all his time and effort in it. You know what I mean? Like, because one of my brothers quits everything that he does. He'll like start something for like a week, and then he's like, no, I don't want to do that anymore, and quit. So I didn't know if he thought that was kind of what was going to happen. So
has your dad or your family, have they watched you live, or will you not let them watch you live?
So my dad is immunocompromised because he has Crohn's disease and like ulcerative colitis and stuff, which is like a version of colon cancer basically.
Right.
So he has not left his house in however many years basically, unless he's like getting the groceries from Walmart, but he won't even go inside. Like he does the grocery drop off thing because he's like, I can't risk getting sick. So he hasn't been able to see me wrestle, except once, like in the very, very beginning of like the end of 2018, like right before COVID basically, and it was like the end of 2018 or the beginning of 2019, but he got to see it, and then my mom got to see me wrestle a couple months ago, I think back in like October, and I think that's she saw me wrestle down when I was in Tampa a lot, because I used to do like a weekly show there, and she would come down like every chance she had, so she's seen me wrestle, but she hadn't seen me wrestle in like a year, maybe like a year and a half, 2 years type thing. So she got to see me wrestle a couple months ago, which was really cool because like now I'm actually a good wrestler compared to kind of when I started. My friends got to see me wrestle, which was like really freaking cool because like all my friends are supportive of it, but like they don't get it. You know what I mean? They're like, this shit's weird. Like, why is she fighting dudes? Like, they don't watch wrestling. So I was just like, hey, I'm in basically my hometown if you want to come see me wrestle. And then they all did, and it was awesome. But hopefully, like, if I live in Florida, so like people think COVID here is still fake, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, and I might get heat on the internet for it, but like COVID's obviously real. Like, people are dying, you know what I mean? So right. I wish people would take it more seriously, so I can go see my dad and I can go see my family without having, like, I missed Christmas this year.
Right.
Like, going to see my family for Christmas because one of them got exposed to COVID, and then it, like, went around the whole house, and obviously I can't risk going to see them.
Right.
So I wish people would take it more seriously so I can go see them, and, like, so my dad can't go see me wrestle. Like, AEW in March is in Florida for, like, 3 weeks. Like, they're doing, like, 6 or 7 shows here. And, like, one of them's in Fort Myers, which is basically where I was, like, originally born and raised. So it would be really cool if they could all go see me, but with COVID, I don't know if any of them are going to be able to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's crazy because you see, like, AEW puts out these press releases talking about different shows that they go to and different requirements from state to state. It's just kind of like,
it changes.
I don't know.
It varies.
It varies so much. And, like, watching the Rumble last night, I'm like, holy shit, it's like 45,000 people. And it was like most, you know, I mean, it's the Midwest. So
yeah,
I mean, most people are not wearing masks. I know it might be a little different in Chicago.
I was about to say we were in Chicago, and I know you know because they have the mask and vaccination stuff. But then you come to Florida, and there's people walking around with they barely have clothes on, like, let alone mask. Like,
it doesn't exist there. It doesn't exist there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Arizona, and it's like the Wild West out here. So, I mean,
yeah. Like, like New York's the same way with the vaccines and stuff, and everyone's like, I'm leaving. I'm coming to Florida. Please don't.
Please don't.
Yeah.
We're full. Like, we can't take any. We already have, like, Disney and, like, Busch Gardens and SeaWorld and all these things, and everyone comes on vacations here. Please don't come live here. Like, we're done. We don't have space. Like, please. But because of DeSantis and everything, everyone's just like, oh my God, he's great. So you have to live here.
So I want to know the origins of your name. Obviously, we know you've been wrestling for a few years. Let's fast forward to now. I want to talk about, I got corrected about your AEW dark match. I thought it was your debut, but I was corrected by your tag team partner saying it was not her debut this year. So what was that like? But first, if you could just tell me where you came up with your ring name.
Okay, so this is going to sound terrible because it's probably the laziest thing that everyone's ever going to hear. So my obviously my real name's not Dream Girl Ellie because that'd be weird. But
and you don't have to tell us your real name if you don't want.
No,
unless you want to. I mean, that's okay.
So my name is very, very similar to Ellie. So I basically Googled names similar to blank, which is my real name, and Ellie is the first name that popped up. I said, all right, that works. And then I just went with it. And then Blanco actually is the one that gave me Dream Girl because I used to come out to a song by Natalia Kills called Problem. And there's like a line and it goes like, oh, I'm your dream girl. This is real love. Like, blah, 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 whatever the rest of the thing is. And he heard it, obviously, because I wrestled. And he's like, why don't you come out as Dream Girl Ellie? And like, at first, I was like, that is a terrible name. Like, that's so awkward. Like, I don't want to come out to that. And then like he started like telling promoters and like the ring announcers and stuff like that was my name. And I just started like just like stuck. And I was like, okay, now it's really cool. But like at first I was like, oh, wrestling's weird. Like, why do I need a nickname? But what's my favorite Teen Titan character? Why is it Robin? I mean, you're not wrong. I just made Blanco watch the Teen Titans musical.
Wow, there's a musical.
Hold on. There's a musical.
It's like a cartoon, like animated thing, and they're basically trying to get a real movie because like all these superheroes have a movie and he doesn't have one, or well, they don't have one. But then Robin finds a way to get a movie, and it's freaking hysterical, and it's great. I love it. But
I think we know what Pro just put on his watch list for today.
Right? He's like, listen, have you guys watched Peacemaker?
Yes. Peacemaker is fucking awesome. And there was a rumor that John Cena was going to show up at the Rumble as Peacemaker.
Because he posted it. He's the one that posted the rumor.
That would have been cool as hell, but
everybody, like, Blanco was just like, every time the 10 count, Peacemaker. 10 count, Peacemaker. And I was like, I don't think he's allowed to. But that show it's so stupidly amazing. Like, he's obsessed with the song, like the intro. He like plays it all the time. He sings it now. Like, he'll randomly be driving and you'll hear it. I'm just like, bro, please stop. But listen, I bet you he's gonna do a TikTok of him doing the dance to it soon. So that's his life.
Uh-oh.
So hey, tell us about your killer start to this year. You had an AEW dark match and you have a few shows coming up. So tell us about the AEW experience and then kind of what you got going on for the next few months. So
obviously AEW is great. I love them. I have to tell this funny story. I have two backstage stories that one of them I felt like was going to get me kicked out because it was so stupidly funny. We were all backstage and it was like right before my match and stuff. And we were all just like chilling in the little gorilla. Or I might have just wrestled, but Dynamite was on. And Cody Rhodes' promo was playing. And he walked right past me. And I looked at James Drake. And I was like, how is he there and there? And I guess he heard me. And he looked at me. And I was like, God damn it, I'm sorry. He started laughing, and I was like, yo, I'm never, ever, ever, like, they're gonna kick me out now.
Oh, that is a pretty funny story.
He randomly just, like, I was like, dude, of course I make the joke where someone hears it. Because, like, I was doing stupid shit like that all night. Because, like, they're so, obviously it's a real professional company, but they were so laid back and stuff. And I made the joke. I didn't think he was going to hear me because he was, like, in his own mindset, and he heard me, and I was like, sorry, but bad. And then the other one is kind of, like, the craziest thing, probably. I shared a locker room with Sting. And not locker room, but like the gorilla area with like Sting, and I was like 5 feet away from him. And I was like trying to not like mark. I'm like, yo, that's fucking Sting right there. But like the whole time I just like look over, I'm just like, oh my god.
So did you talk to him?
Like I mean I did when like I kind of like would walk by him. I'm like, hey, how are you type thing. But like he had just wrestled, like he was in like a tag match with Darby or something, and I just like look over, I'm just like, bro, that's Sting. Like that's so cool. And those are like my two little. That's another thing I remember from AEW last time I was there was just saying something stupid, and then Sting was there.
You have anything coming up with AEW?
I can't tell you.
Oh man, I thought we were gonna get an exclusive here.
My bad.
I mean, nobody's really watching the show, right? Right, Pro? Nobody's really watching this right now.
No, I'm not even watching it. I'm here.
I think there's a problem with it. No, but I guess you have to like watch and see.
All right.
But I do have. Let's see what I have coming up. I have OVW in Kentucky this week.
Okay, OVW. That's Al Snow's organization that he's taking over. So you said this week?
Yes, this Thursday. It's on Fight TV. It'll be live. Okay.
Any other shows coming up? We should keep an eye out for you.
Ring Wars Carolina on Saturday. Oh my God, where am I? Well, all right, we're done with January after that because January is basically over. We're in February now. Boom, boom. Then I am in Tennessee for Joe Kazana on February 11th. February 12th, I'm in Georgia for Viral Pro Wrestling. And then the week after that, I might have something else that week. I don't even know. I have OVW. The next 2 weeks, I think. And then the week after that, I am in Chicago.
Uh-oh.
Woohoo. I was like, I have to do math.
All right, the pro's gonna go check you out when he's there. He goes and sees all the shows.
Yeah, I do.
You go to them?
I do, yeah.
Woo!
So the next one you guys got is Roses Are Red.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I knew that.
Put him in charge of your calendar.
Right?
There you go.
So I'm in a tag match there with Blanco and myself against Sierra and Joey Avalon. And the winner, if we win or if they win, the winner, I guess, of the match gets to pick the stipulation for the March show of our singles matches where I would be wrestling Sierra and Blanco would be wrestling Joey. Mm-hmm. So if we win, we get to pick it.
Well, it sounds like you got a jam-packed schedule. Maybe take a quick peek at your calendar before next week, you know?
Right? Let me figure out what else I have with my life.
Well, Ellie, I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And we will look for you at all your different shows. Tell my audience, where can we find you online, on Instagram, on Facebook? Where are you at?
It's been 3 years, so I finally got this stuff memorized. Facebook is the Dream Girl Ellie and the International Superstars. Twitter and Instagram are This Is Ellie with little underscores in between each word. We also have a Pro Wrestling Tees, which is the International Superstars. And I think that's it. Oh, and we have TikTok. His is the Real Blanco Loco, I think. And then mine is This Is Ellie.
That's awesome. Well, Ellie, thank you so much for joining us on ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast. We will be sharing this up later. We'll be tagging you. And thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
You too.
Well, that was awesome.
That was cool.
That Sting story was really cool. I was like, oh, damn, you didn't get to talk to him?
I can't even imagine, honestly.
Well, it looks like she's going to be in your neck of the woods coming up, so you have to go check her out and say what's up to her.
Already got my tickets.
There you go. Well, hey, we're going to keep this train rolling. We have an awesome guest on deck. He is waiting in the wings, and let's just bring him in. Oh, there we go. Bring him in, Ninja Mack.
How y'all doing today? All Things Wrestling Podcast. Y'all want to make a bet?
Let's do it, man. Coming out of Houston, Texas, Ninja Mack, coming straight off that show that I just checked out was GCW. I mean, in New York at Hammerstein Ballroom. My God, that was a hell of a show.
Legendary event, man. Just to be there as a wrestler, see that place the last 25 years. Great, great show. And then for them to be able to do what we did there, phenomenal performance. So, I mean, to me, you know, New York doesn't vibe too much with GCW in our deathmatch and bloody scene. But for what we were able to do and not be able to pull out light tubes, I think we did one hell of a show. And I think I don't want to say the wrong words, but I think the GCW set an attendance record for a wrestling event.
Pro, do you know on that one? I'm not sure.
I don't know the exact.
Well, the guy in our chat room, Kenny Dinkins from the Call Up Podcast, he was at the show.
Right.
And he's like our stats guy here today.
Hey, give it a check out. I don't know if it was a record. It might have been close.
It was a dope show either way, man.
Yeah, it was
phenomenal. That card was stacked. You had truly that forbidden door is GCW. So you had people from every show.
Yeah, how was watching it obviously on TV or being at the show are two totally different things. I've been to a ton of wrestling events. I know the Pro has. Being in that New York crowd, that historic place for wrestling, so many big shows there over the years. As a wrestler, I mean, obviously, man, you're touring everywhere. What kind of vibe was that coming off the crowd? Like the electricity just must have been just insane.
Oh,
right?
For sure. Very, very electric. A lot of fire, man. Just those crowds are so wild, and then GCW crowds rubbing so hard. They give you so much energy. Man, you go out there and try things sometimes you're not even used to trying just because they're giving you so much.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen so many clips from you. I got so many questions for you, man.
Ask them. Let's go. We got questions for days.
Oh, shit. Are you there? Cutting out a little bit.
I'm here. I hear y'all good.
Okay. Yeah. Your workout routine, you show a lot of different videos of yourself. It's pretty awesome when you get your son out there in the mix. How much rehearsing of your moves are you doing? Are you just like 24/7 practicing? Because like I think about some of the moves that you do and seeing some of the moves that you do, and like, are you thinking, oh shit, this one might kill me? Like before you're about to do a move? Like I want to know what kind of goes through your head, and then how much like rehearsing of these moves are you doing?
I do during the week. I train some jiu-jitsu. I go to the ring quite often to train, but I mean, I'm not running spots. I'm actually fighting. I do a lot of MMA, do a lot of jiu-jitsu and boxing. So, I mean, y'all get to see the crazy flips with the ninja. But I don't go out and practice 630s. That's just a lot of that stuff just kind of on the spot. You know, the crowd's feeding you, and man, sometimes you just jump and go. But I mean, I don't practice no 630s every day. I'm practicing leg kicks, leg checks, transitions from full mount to half guard, trying to work arm bars. So I mean, I'm legit training martial arts, and then, you know, with some pro wrestling shows, you get a little more theatric and can show a little more. But I am practicing the 630s 10 times a day.
How did you get so good with the gymnastics moves, man?
Hey, you go to those open gyms. You practice a lot on the trampolines, and honestly, being an amateur wrestler my whole life, I'm not the biggest guy, but I was the smart ass. I think I could go take on a 215 at 135, and they would throw my ass around. And either I learned to flip, rotate, land on my feet to not give up the 2 points and reverse that bitch, or so, you know what? I'm sorry, am I allowed to cuss? I'm so used to GCW.
And we're on YouTube, man. You can say whatever the hell you want.
Hell yeah, big bets. All Things Wrestling Podcast. Bet that. Fuck yeah. So, but no, yeah. Yeah, I don't practice no 630s. I train a lot of martial arts. The flips, I mean, training growing up, you're going into the gym. When I went to college, I realized college was not the route that Ninja Mack needed to take, so I ended up actually trying out for the circus just because I was good at flips after my ass getting thrown around. And the circus liked what I could do, and they cleaned me up tremendously. Made my flips pretty, point my toes, get my ballerina jump going for performances. So I guess they cleaned me up a lot when I had to actually do my 10,000 people shows, 12,000 people shows. I ain't gonna put someone out there that's gonna look pretty ugly flipping.
That's crazy, man. So I mean, shit, really, your kind of origin story starts you with the circus.
Yeah, I would. The circus gave me that the entertaining aspect because I truly believe I'd be fighting. I'd probably try to be wrestling still if I didn't pursue any kind of entertainment career. But I think with the circus and opening me up to the presentation and performing, and then with the awesome people on the circus tours, I met a couple of wrestlers and I just got hooked and ended up going to a wrestling school. And one day I just never went back to the circus. I think with wrestling matches, I can get a one-on-one. I get more spotlight compared to a circus show where I got 20 people and everyone's doing some badass stuff. So maybe I'm selfish, but I want that spotlight more for me. I want to stand out.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So how long ago would that have been for you?
My last circus tour was 7 years ago.
So you just jumped right into the wrestling game. So about
I was traveling. I was already international. We did Venezuela. We did Mexico. I was over in Europe. I was coming back on a 6-week tour, and we finished in Seattle. A guy saw we would shoot wrestle at the hotels because we're moving hotels every couple of days. And we're trying to kill time, and you get real close with the people in the locker room. So we didn't have a problem messing with each other and shoot wrestling. And he was a pro wrestler, and he said, go check out a school. You're good at flips, so you know how to wrestle. And he told me the schools to check out were some in Seattle. There was a place in Houston and a lot in Florida. And I was like, hey, funny thing, I'm straight out of Houston, man. And he said, go look. And I got in touch with Booker T. So I flew in on a Friday. I got in touch with Booker T on Saturday and Kevin Bernhardt for Reality Wrestling on Saturday. And I actually did their first fantasy camp on that Sunday. And once I did that fantasy camp, Book had me hooked, man. And wrestling since.
So getting your start in the circus, let's go back. Like, have you been a wrestling fan like a lot of your life, or is this just kind of something that you picked up,
Oh, no, I've ever since I was little wrestling. So growing up, go to school, parents always threw me in some sports or, soccer, threw me in the gyms with wrestling. And then on Monday nights, Mondays and Thursdays, those were my nights off. So I got fucking Raw, I got SmackDown. I would watch that. And then being in Texas on Telemundo, we got a lot of AAA when I was growing up in the 90s. So I got to see so much Mexico Lucha Libre, and that's what really hooked me was that Lucha, man. That's my style, where you can just go wild, go fast, go creative. So, and then just in Texas alone, once you get started in wrestling, Lucha's across the street as there's every other show. So I got double the bookings kind of starting with Lucha, and then just goes from there.
Is that what inspired the mask?
No. So with my wrestling story, I had a child. Maybe I'm very one-minded like the circus. I was all in with the circus. When I was wrestling, I was all in with the wrestling. I had a child, my son. You'll see him around, Leo, Ninja Leo. You can't value that, and I value time. And I'm never gonna get a 1, 2, or 3-year-old again. I don't think. So to enjoy those moments and those years with him, I really capitalized on that. But now that he's getting older, and then I've kind of stepped back into wrestling, I came back with a mindset of what I wanted to do rather than kind of just getting started and trying to wrestle. So in Texas, I would wrestle as Ninja Mack, and I would wrestle with the mask off against American wrestlers. But I'm sorry, I would wrestle with the mask on against American wrestlers. But against luchadors, I would take it off just to mess with the luchas and just intimidation, I guess, against the Americans. And then when GCW found me, do the show, kind of blow up a little more. I went down to AAA Mexico. Conan, thank you. He gave me the reach out for the maker of the design. I sent them the designs. They got the stuff made. And I got all this made through the AAA people. Professional, man. Great gear. Shout out to all y'all who helped me with that. But now it's the gear is morphed into my gambling ninja gimmick. So you see the red and you see the black like you do a roulette table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
I haven't shown the green yet because people don't ever bet on zero. But that'll be a very special occasion when I pull out that green.
Oh,
I mean, St. Patty's Day is right around the corner.
Hey, get a shot
Yeah.
going for us.
There you go. Hey, so I got to ask, because I think it's probably one of the most craziest clips I've seen of you online, the Mick Foley moment that you had. Where your head gets caught in the ropes. Man, watching that clip, I guess if you didn't have the mask on, you could have suffered the same fate as Mick Foley did. But what was going
when things happen like that, because I'm going for a cool move, show off for the crowd.
right?
I mean, maybe that's what the old guys talk about being dumb in the 2020 wrestling world, of doing too many flips and trying to steal the moment. And I happened to get caught up, and I was very fortunate. The mask kind of protected my ears, my neck, kind of gave me that little bit of cushion. I had the wrestlers there to, I hate to say break kayfabe, but almost saved my life too. So, I mean, scary moments happen, but they jumped in, did the right thing for me, and then they fucking put their boots to the asses on me on the outside and called me chingo tu madre, dummies. But all those lucha terms.
I mean, just seeing that, because, I mean, man, when you're in the ring, I mean, you're like 100 miles an hour, right? So, like, when you do a move like that and then, like, everything just stops. I mean, shit. I was like, man, does your life flash before your eyes when something like that happens?
Yeah, I wouldn't say flash, but when you do say slow down in time, truly, when you're going, it's so slow, and then when that kind of I mean, that's what we work for, but when you get that kind of a pop or that kind of a reaction, like a oh or a big pop, dude, things slow down tremendously. I felt like I was sitting there for a while, and when you go back and watch that video, it's 2, 3, 4 seconds at the tops, but at that moment, it felt 10, 20, 30.
That's so true. Because I remember seeing you at the first show I went to, Art of War Games in Chicago, and it felt like when you did that final move to, I think it was Dante Leon.
Ooh, yeah, that ladder bomb.
Yeah, that felt like it was forever, but in reality, it was like 2 seconds.
Yeah, when I stood up there, I felt like I looked around because that crowd was so massive. It was a swarm of people, and when I stood up there, I felt like I looked from the left to the right, back to the left, and it felt like 10 seconds. But when you watch that video, it's a good 3 seconds. Time really slows down in those moments, and that's what we try and capture.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that was a really tall freaking ladder too.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? I wish. So with GCW, they don't have those ladders brought out to us early for us to check out. So when those ladders are put out there, and I just see the biggest ladder, I had no idea how heavy that bitch was. I needed that ref to help me pick that thing in. It was a good 20, 22-foot ladder. That thing weighed a lot. I think that might have weighed close to Sam Stackhouse's weight right there. That thing was so heavy.
Oh, dude, I bet.
I always wonder about that. Like, you see these, do they just have a plethora of ladders on hand for like shit like that? And then like, yeah, how much do these ladders weigh? I never really, as a fan, you're watching it, you see something like that. Yeah, a 20-something foot ladder, that shit's going to weigh a lot.
Yeah, we're able to pull some crazy stuff off with GCW. And hey, shout out to Game Changer Wrestling for giving us a chance to be able to go out there and do some crazy stuff. And if y'all haven't seen, this upcoming Friday, February 4th in Houston, GCW, February 5th in Dallas, GCW. So they're doing a little Texas trip this next coming weekend. Start that run after Hammerstein for the collective.
That's that Lucha event, right?
What'd you say, Pro?
That's that Lucha event?
Well, so Loco Wrestling is the promotion I helped kind of start with Jaime Martinez and Pedro. They were kind of running Loco in Houston, and when I was coming back from the COVID stuff, that was the first show I jumped kind of back on that gave Ninja Mack a chance to be seen. And me and Loco ran that match with Dante Leon in January, and that got our eyes on GCW. So for Loco, we when they come down, I wouldn't say if y'all have never seen a Loco show, phenomenal crowd. I really would say if ECW and AAA had a baby, that's Loco Wrestling right now, the way the crowds and the shows are. So if y'all haven't seen it, go check out Loco Wrestling. But when GCW comes to town, we're just kind of a buddy partner sponsorship. They use some of our wrestlers, get some of the big names in, and we're growing this Texas thing, and we're stacking that show in that building with 350 plus every show for the last 6 months.
Man, Texas is like they're killing it with pro wrestling right now. I mean, it just seems like there's from the West Texas to East Texas, Central, North, South, it's just wrestling everywhere. So I mean, you're in like the place to be when it comes to wrestling. So I mean, I see you. You're like everywhere. What do you?
It's with GCW. They've really helped me grow more out of Texas since I've been in Texas forever, and be able to get out there. I think that was able to help a lot of eyes get to Texas, and now you're seeing Texas go everywhere, which is great. Like, huge fan of Brian Keith, big friend of mine, and getting him out, dude, he's killing it too, just out of Texas. Matt Locke, that's a true heel right there coming out of Texas. I mean, you got Booker T, everyone at Booker T school, Ryan Davidson. You got Gigi that just wrestled last night for Mission Pro and Thunder Rosa. I snapped in on that show last second. Great female talent coming out of Texas too, man. Just to shout out the wrestlers, you got fucking some of the most badass chicks in pro wrestling coming from Texas right now.
It's true.
Yeah, the independent wrestling scene is it's on fire. It seems like it's just getting better and better.
I'm excited. I never wish anything bad, but if something in WWE stumbles a little more, man, I don't see much farther where we're going kind of back to a future territory day. Let's get this grind going and see who wants to take over.
That's exactly right.
So what's 2022 look like for you, man?
Hey, so I'm always gambling. I'm a gambling ninja. So the year of 2021 was the year of the ninja, betting on blackjack. That's a good bet. But 2022 is Ninja Mack doubling down. So I only went international with AAA. Now that COVID's kind of getting restricted and opening up. Once the borders open, I'm off to Japan. I'm going to Pro Wrestling Noah. I signed with them. I'm committed to them. And I'm just kind of waiting for the borders. I was supposed to fly out December 7th, but the borders, I guess, got pushed back, and we're at the mercy of the government. Which, like I said, I'm trying to get there as quick as I can because that was another show growing up. Like, I really watched AAA. I watched Noah and WWE, and then to be able for them to reach out to me and AAA in the same year, like that was just huge big fire for Ninja Mack, myself, a little self pop. So, but to actually get over to Japan and get over there and compete with some of the best strong style talent in the world, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. And it's going to help me grow as a professional also, different culture, different style. It opens, like I said, I always love culture shocks. That's why I love traveling. That's why I love the circus.
Yeah, me too, man. I always love visiting and going, experiencing new things.
Yeah, very humbling experiences on those culture shocks. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations on that, man, the international tour. And once you're able to get the hell out of here, I'm sure this year is going to be just huge for you.
Yeah, like I said, if anything, and it keeps getting pushed back, I'm running with the hottest independent promotion in the States right now with Game Changer Wrestling. I'm running Loco Wrestling, which to me is the hottest Texas promotion right now in wrestling. So, I mean, I got a good base from my companies with Ninja Mack coming this year. My baseline is GCW, AAA, and Noah and Loco. So, I mean, it's only up from here. I'm hoping. Let's keep grinding and keep growing.
What shows you got coming up? Like this month for February, what's your February looking like?
Well, I mean, just so with Hammerstein and Loco last weekend, I used that as my peak week. So this last week I was kind of on a rest weekend, but picking right back up next week, Friday. Like I said, GCW Houston. I'm taking on the 16-year-old phenomenon Nick Wayne. Kid's going to be a huge star, but it's Ninja Mack's time right now, so I got to put him in his place while he's in my home building. So step up, Nick Wayne. I'm going to see you on Friday. Saturday at 2:00, I got at Wrestling Expo, Dallas with Cam Cole, Reality of Wrestling. I don't want to say champion. I don't think he's champion right now, but he could be the previous champion. So he's a very high level talent for Cam Cole in Reality of Wrestling. Looking very forward to that match. GCW loves to surprise me with some big pops. I don't know who I'm wrestling in Dallas on Saturday, but I am wrestling in Dallas GCW night. And then a little after party with the fans on Dallas. Sunday morning, I fly out at 6:30 up to Maryland, and I take on Leo Rush and Action Andrade at Maryland Pro Wrestling on Sunday.
Oh wow!
They've always been good to me, and one of the good shows I've ever been to. So if you haven't got a chance, go check out MPW, GCW, or the Wrestling Expo these upcoming weekends. And then, I mean, every weekend after this going forward, just 3 or 4 more shows each weekend, sir.
Man, you are a busy dude for sure. It sounds like 2022 is the year you're doubling down, and it's going to be Ninja Mack's year.
Yes, sir. I got to double down those matches. I saw people hitting that 140, 150 mark, and I know the database that tracks those matches. I don't know if they track the lucha matches, but let alone I was close to that number last year. But I'm really trying to double down. I'm going to push 200 to 250 matches this year. If I can do that, that's a huge step for me. Obviously, timing, and those are just goals.
What's your recovery time in between? Because I mean, just the way you wrestle and everything. I mean, shit, you gotta be feeling it right after a match.
No, sir, I'm ready to go for another match. I can wrestle. I mean, give me if I get my ass whipped that day, give me a couple hours to recover. But if I walk away with a win that match, man, if you want, line me up someone else. I'll go right away. I can wrestle on a Monday. I can wrestle on a Tuesday morning at 7. I can wrestle on a Tuesday afternoon at 5. I don't care. You can come find Ninja Mack at my house. I'll be sleeping. I'll be ready to wrestle if you put me in a headlock.
Damn.
That's awesome. That's so badass.
I'll make sure
I give that credit to Ninja Leo. You know, my 3-year-old ninja. That motherfucker don't care that I got home at 4 in the morning. At 6:30, he's dropping elbows saying, "Dad, let's go." I'm up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
it's
man,
it's the Ninja Daddy strength right now.
I know you are a busy dude, and I really appreciate you coming on. Can you tell my audience where they can find you?
You can check out Ninja Mack on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, everything. Patreon, Twitch. Just Ninja Mack. Very easy to find. If you haven't, go subscribe, like, share, comment. That's how we all make a following. And if you haven't, always go check out All Things Wrestling Podcast. Like, subscribe, share them, and get them a big following because that's how they make money too. And y'all can bet that.
Thank you so much, Ninja Mack. I really appreciate it, man. Big year coming for you. We're going to be watching out for you and everything that you're doing. Best of luck. And it sounds like 2022's year of the Mack.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Double down. Y'all have a wonderful day.
You too, man. Have a good one. Happy Sunday. Keep that wrestling going. Awesome. Man, that was fucking great. A lot of great sound bites from him, man. I know you're like the whiz. Can you go in there and capture those sound bites that he said for the show?
I got you. I got you, man. That was dope.
Yeah, that was killer. That was awesome. Man, it sounds like he's got a big year coming. Shit, I would love to see all the international stuff. I mean, man, there's just so much damn wrestling everywhere. It's just like, and so much good stuff. People are putting on a hell of a product. GCW, I mean, they got to be the best thing going right now, right?
Right now, yeah. I always say that, like, they're the best third product going around right now as far as matches goes and just overall entertainment. So, yeah, no, thanks Ninja Mack, man. That was a dope interview.
Yeah,
and you know what? Not for nothing. That shit's got to take a lot of toll on your body, constantly working. But hey, he's a workhorse, man. I gotta commend that.
Yeah, he's that dude's just everywhere. He's like, I do a workout, I'm sore for a couple of days, and it's like, shit,
yeah, exactly.
You know?
And that's light workout for me.
Wow, so it was a hell of a show. Wanted to talk a little bit about the Rumble. So it sounds like you were a little sad about the Rumble.
It was just underwhelming, to say the least. A lot of disappointment. I didn't like how the Universal Championship ended in a DQ. Yeah. I'm so sick of the DQ finishes. You know, it was a good match. You could have just we all knew Roman Reigns was going to win anyway. Why not just have him win cleanly? You know, nobody liked it. And then I don't know. It was just like one thing, like what Ellie was saying. It was moments. It was little moments every now and again. But all in all, I think it was like maybe a 5 out of 10.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
really tearing the show down.
Yep.
5 out of 10. Kenny, if you're still in the chat, what'd you think? How was the Rumble? I was pleasantly happy with the Rumble. I thought it was a good show. You know, obviously there's a couple things I didn't like. I thought Ronda Rousey winning the Rumble was shitty because she just basically stole somebody's fucking spot. But I get it. I get why WWE did it. People were bitching about Lesnar winning the Rumble. I mean, come on. If you didn't see this coming a mile away, you're obviously not watching because, I mean, you had to know that it was coming. The big swerve, Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns and setting it up. You know they've been building up to them at WrestleMania all along, right?
Yeah.
Kenny says Roman versus Seth match was good with the BS ending. Yeah, I was pretty pissed about that. But maybe they're going to set up for a triple threat. I mean, what better way to do a triple threat at Mania? Rollins, Roman, Brock? Because it goes back to when Seth cashed in the Money in the Bank a few years ago on both of them and ended up winning the title. So maybe we're going to have a repeat.
I'm just still trying to figure out what the purpose of a Royal Rumble is. If anybody can just come up and say, I want a title shot. Like Brock Lesnar didn't have to win anything when he got the title before.
Yeah,
You're just put in the match. Like, like I don't get it.
I don't know. I thought overall it was a good show. I enjoyed it. 4 hours didn't feel like 10 hours.
Listen, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here, but I just wish there was a little bit more surprises. No, we don't need another triple threat match. Honestly, I don't think we need another Brock Lesnar match.
Or Roman Reigns match. Can we get
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns? How many times have we seen that?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of the Attitude Era, and you would have guys, The Rock and Stone Cold. They'd be going at it for like a year. I mean, back in the day, that shit was great to watch. If they could keep the story going, and now you just add it to the story by Paul Heyman really turning on Brock Lesnar, I mean, that's kind of a big deal.
I would agree with you if we had the same amount of like the TV wasn't different.
Right.
Like it's more like even during the commercials, it's geared towards kids. They were interviewing kids on who they would like to see win the Royal Rumble. Back in the day, man, it was beer drinking, middle fingers, all kinds of shit. So you were engaged. I could watch a Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin because they were talking real shit to each other. Well, what it felt like, Yeah. This, I don't feel like they're playing a character.
Right. No, I got you. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you joining me on this Sunday, being the co-host. It was a hell of a show. Tell my audience, where can we find you?
You guys can find the Pro Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. And my Instagram handle is at TheProWrestling Podcast. Pretty simple. And then Twitter, you can follow me. It's at ThePWPod. I primarily don't really go on there. I usually go on my Instagram. That's where I do my heavy content.
Right.
YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. I just recently had an interview with Axel Rico that was in 2 parts because it was so good. I had to split it in 2, at least in my opinion. And also I have In My Opinion every Tuesdays live at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. This week, I really don't have a guest lined up, but I wouldn't mind doing a solo episode by myself here. So
there you go.
Just stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
He's a busy man. Well, thank you very much. This was ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast. Our guests today, want to thank them. Dream Girl Ellie, big year coming for her. And Ninja Mack. He's doubling down this year. Bet that. And happy Sunday. And we out of here. Don't go anywhere. Mr. Pro, I'll talk to you when we end the broadcast. And we're out.